Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Unpack Your Bag Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Perks, and we have Chantel.
Back again.
Yes, back again. Do you want to have like a name or something? Or do you want to be just Chantel?
Chantel's cool.
You know what I'm saying? Because I have like my name. Because my name, Tony Perks, is like Anthony Perkins, but Tony is short for Anthony.
Yeah, so you were able to create a cool nickname. We just going to go with Chantel for now.
What's your last name?
I was like, if you know me, you know. If you don't, it's none of your business.
Touche. All right, Chantel, Shani, what's going on? How was your day today so far?
Pretty good. Left work early.
I know.
Yo, this lady almost got cussed smooth out today.
Really?
Y'all.
Why?
My goodness. So look. Today, report cards go out.
Question really quick. Mm-hmm. Do you ever feel bad about a cuss out? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Really?
Yes. Almost always.
Really?
Almost always.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
It's good to hear you
for
have
sure.
good comments.
I'm empathetic. I'll be like, damn,
good.
you didn't have to call her all the bitches and hoes. Like, you didn't have to do her like that.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Look, report card day, we stuff in envelopes, okay?
Okay.
And I'm doing it with two of my homegirls, right?
Okay.
And one of my homegirls is doing something, and she kind of messing up the system that I had. You know what I'm saying? And we laughing and joking about it, and then insert person A.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, let's insert person A, right? And we joking about it like, no, Miss Danielle's messing up. Or, dang, we got to edit that out. We got to edit that out.
Remind me, please, because
I will. Oh, she was messing up the system, blah, 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 right? And we're laughing and joking. And she said, oh, you know what? I bet you if it's hostile in here, did the person who's hostile, does her name start with a C or something like that?
Oh.
Right?
What? Wait. Wait, how? Why did it even get
all
there?
the way out of pocket, right? All the way out.
I mean, that just came from like left field for no reason.
No reason. You don't know me well enough to be talking to me like that. Not to mention, it's been a rough week, and I'm not wrapped too tight right now. So you pulling on whatever thread I got, bruh. Like, I'm literally like.
So she just said that
just out of the blue, right? So look, my homegirl, her antennas went off, and she started like trying to calm the situation. She was like, "Well, actually, blah, blah, blah." You know, shout out to the homies who keep you. Shout out to the homies who keep you from cussing people out. But I'm sitting over there mad. I was like, "There's only one person whose name start with a C up in here. So what exactly
are you trying to say?
What are you trying to say? Like, I'm trying to figure out what she's saying. If she got something to,
just bring it. Let's bring it. Like, what do you mean?
I'm trying to figure out what she's saying, right? Because you don't know me well enough to be. You don't know me well enough to be saying stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. We ain't friends like that.
Especially not no passive aggressive type shit, right? So my friend was in there like, no, right? And I was like, I need a break, and I just got up and walked out and like slammed the door. But this lady almost got cussed.
Really?
Move out.
See, it's a good thing that we know Jesus, so we don't have to do that every time.
Yo, Jesus wasn't about to stop me from cussing this lady out. I'm gonna tell you right now, because the only reason why I didn't cuss this lady out is because my homegirl was in there and she was trying to like maneuver. She
knew immediately, like, okay.
She was trying to maneuver.
Let's just not.
She was like, take the spotlight off of Chantel. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off.
Oh, so you mean me? See over there? Look what yeah, this is crazy, guys, right?
She real blessed. God. She did that because I was like, only one person start with a C up in here. So what is you talking about? I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to say. Like, I was ready to go.
Well, Chantel, it could sound like an S, technically. SH.
Hey, she knows.
Just saying.
She knew what she was talking about.
I'm always going to benefit of doubt,
She knew what she was talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
What happened when you came back into the room now?
When I came back in the room, I put my headphones in, right? Because first we was listening to music out loud and we chilling because, you know.
Wait, at first was it just you and the person, and person A came in?
Yeah.
And then it was like.
Person with the passive aggressive attitude comes in to a vibe that's already set. Me and my homegirls is in there, my work friends. I got the music playing on the phone. We jamming and folded envelopes.
So when someone comes up and does that and kills your whole vibe, also makes you mad, what is your remedy of getting out of that mindset of being pissed? Especially when you didn't like resolve the issue, it just kind of got pushed to the side. What is your remedy?
I had to walk away. My remedy is to get up and walk away and hope that it dissolves on its own. And usually it will, right?
Yeah,
not to where after, because it's really like a small incident. It's not something where I got to be like, yo, I got to talk to you because what you said is this particular instance.
It wasn't that big.
Too tiny, too small. I'm going to get over it. We're not going to bring it up again. But I already know, like.
I feel you. That's what I do. Usually I need to, it depends on the person, but usually I need to like talk it out to see like, it depends if the feeling is super strong. I want to talk to figure out why this was said and why do you think this was okay and blah blah, and let you know how I feel. So next time this won't happen again, because you know next time it happens, this will be outcome A. You know, but depending on the circumstance.
It was.
You know?
I mean, ultimately,
it wasn't that big of a deal though.
I walked. I breathed. I don't think that was the correct way to say that.
Breath. You took a breath. Of fresh air.
You know, and I was like, all right.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Okay. I went to go get I got my little green tea out the refrigerator, and I was like,
just sip your tea.
Yeah, sip like I sipped my tea. I sat back in. Like, I was just like, all right, it's cool. She was trying to be funny. That ain't funny. She was trying to be included in the conversation. That ain't the way you do it.
That's definitely the way. You don't go off by us talking shit. That's the one thing you don't, especially you don't know the people. Don't go in talking shit unless you're joking in a way that's not offensive at all.
And like, you don't know me like that, and you came in hot, don't know the situation at all, and you automatically assumed it's me.
Yeah, or if you want to go in talking shit, talk shit about yourself first. Like, make a joke on yourself to let it be known, like, I can joke, and then put the, you know what I mean? But don't just come up talking shit. My whole thing
is you don't know me well enough to be joking with me like that, right? A lot of people, I'm pretty outgoing, right? Like, I'm goofy. I like to make jokes and stuff like that. So people see that and be like, oh, you know,
we can say whatever, bro. And it's like, no,
you can't. I don't know you like that. Now, granted, if we build up the relationship to the point, then yeah, you in the joke too. We could all contribute to this, but you don't know me well enough, right? You don't know me well enough. Especially this week, I've been like,
on edge,
kind of on edge a little bit. Like, I have been like a basket case mentally. I feel like so.
Ooh.
Unpack that.
Yeah, what's been going on? Like, what's been?
It's a long story.
Minus the questions right now, but what's been making you so on edge?
It's a long story, but story. This is what it comes back to. What it comes back to is being or recognizing the things that have you in an emotional state, right? Recognizing those triggers, recognizing those events, whether it's childhood traumas that find ways to come back because somebody said something to you and you don't even realize at the moment how this, you know what I'm saying? How this manifests or blows up your whole world. And it's being mindful of those triggers. It's being mindful of those traumas and then finding ways to maneuver through it. Right. But when you're faced with those triggers, you're going to have an emotional reaction.
Right, for sure.
And that emotional reaction is going to mess with your headspace because you're like, yo, I don't want to feel, why am I feeling like this? Right?
Yeah.
If you're in tune, you're like, why am I feeling like this? This shit got to go. This shit is stupid, blah, 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 whatever it is. So it's being mindful of those triggers, right? So that instance, like I already have, I guess, a guard up when it comes to
new people.
Not new people, when it comes to me feeling like the problem, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of go into something where somebody says something, or you play too much, or you laugh too much, or you know what I'm saying?
So it was offensive. It was like offensive to you.
But it's offensive to me, not necessarily because of what she said, although what she said was out of pocket, but because I already have something in me, right? Yeah. That's reacting to
whatever happened some other time in your life. That now it's like that trigger reminded you again of like that feeling.
And what's in me is reacting to what she said.
Right.
Not necessarily what she said, although we agree that it was some shit. You don't say shit like that.
But you know, it's hard because a lot of people don't even know that they have triggers, that something like that will happen. They think it's the person and not the situation that happened to you 10 years ago.
Got hella triggers.
Like it's hard to identify the trigger when you're not even aware that there's triggers going on.
Got hella triggers.
It takes a lot of, I think identifying the trigger is one of the hardest things because you have to think back to when this. I have this thing I do in the morning when I do my journaling exercise, and I wake up and I feel a certain way. Like say I'm angry, and then I'll say today I feel angry, and then I think about what's the first time I felt angry and why did I feel angry, and then I can identify if anger is a feeling because of hurt or because of sadness or whatever. But like you have to kind of trace back the feeling you're feeling right now, where it came from, originally started. But a lot of times people don't even know that it's a trigger, don't even know it's from another issue. They think it's just the person, and now they're not even thinking about why am I taking it personal? They're just thinking that you did it wrong and you're wrong and that's it.
Yeah.
And so I think it takes a lot of self-reflection to be able to identify those triggers.
Absolutely.
You know? And I don't know, just a lot of mindfulness,
important.
You know?
It's important from a mental health perspective. We talk about the things that we went through in our lives, whether that be as children, in our adulthood, whatever, that had an impact on us, right? Good or bad, our experiences made us who we are.
Yes, 100%.
And from a mental health perspective, we have to analyze those things, right? And look at the ways that they show up in our lives now, right? Because for instance, I had an issue with low self-esteem, right? Okay. So looking at the way that even though it's a childhood thing, right? But it still shows up now in my adult life.
Right, okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So the ways that it shows up are me feeling some type of way about being a problem, right?
Right.
Something in me, for whatever reason, sometimes I feel like I'm the problem, right? The majority of times when something happens, I'm always looking at me because I'm like, I'm the problem, right? That's a low self-esteem that comes up now, right? So when she comes in and she's saying like, well, I know the hostility is coming from a person with the name with the C.
It automatically took you back to that.
Why am I the problem?
Yeah.
I didn't do shit.
Right,
you don't know me, right?
Yeah,
right? And you start tripping, right?
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily because of what she said, because it was probably a joke, right? But it's the way that I internalize that, right? That's a mental health perspective. From a spiritual perspective, we're looking at it like, what's the root of that thing? You know what I'm saying? We look at the ways that the enemy has showed up in our lives and in our families, and we're always talking about what's the root of that thing, because it's going to keep showing up until we break the root, until we break the stronghold of the issue.
Yeah, but you gotta identify. You gotta find that root.
You gotta identify it. You gotta identify it. But here's the thing: in order for God to use us, and this is still a spiritual perspective, in order for God to use us, there are certain things that he cannot use, right? So he's got to break the root of it. But in order for him to break the root of it, what do we have to do? We got to go back and visit it.
Right.
We got to be mindful that it's there.
Yeah.
And then look at the ways that it shows up in our lives 20 years later.
Right. And a part of that too is like I think it hurts and people get defensive because their ego is trying to protect the part of you that's sensitive and soft, and like your ego is designed to protect you, but it kind of comes up in ways that it shouldn't really be there. It kind of is detrimental to you because people will get defensive or they kind of act passive aggressive because they feel a certain way, and you gotta I think the biggest thing is trying to suppress and kill off your ego. Yeah. Because back in the day, it was designed to keep you alive. But now it's like your ego is putting you in places that like you don't even need to worry about or have a problem with, And like I think a big thing is like trying to figure out where your ego shows up and how do you kill off your ego so you're not taking everything personal. Like I'm not that big of a deal. Like I'm just one person in the universe, God made all of us, but I am still one person. I'm not God, Like it's not that big of a deal. Someone says it's
Anthony
not that big
God,
of a deal.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm just saying. Because like we think we're so important at times. Like, oh my gosh, like this is such a big
overinflated
deal.
sense of self.
And it's like, no one really cares. At the end of the day, like no one cares that much except for you in the moment.
Personally,
and that's hard not to do sometimes.
It's hard. Taking things personally is really hard because we automatically want to put ourselves in the center of things. Yeah, but. I mean, even if we go away, like you said, you went into the psychology of it a little bit with the ego. Like if we flip that and go into the mental health part of it all, like there are certain things that we'll never achieve because we're holding on to too much shit.
Yeah.
That's
where we got to unpack your bag.
Unpack it.
Like that's what take it out the bag.
Take it out.
Leave it there. Take your empty bag and go get filled up with God.
And fill it up with something, but God for sure.
Yeah. If you're not a believer, I don't know, you gotta figure it out. But
you gotta figure it out. That's for you.
But yeah, it's hard. But the psychology, the ego is part of it, and I think a lot of it's pride too, which they kind of go hand in hand. But it's very hard, especially. From my point of view, it's hard because I care about how I feel. And, I don't want to let go and just think like, okay, whatever, just get over and deal. Because like I still have those feelings,
Right.
But sometimes those feelings will keep you held in a position where you're going to be hurt or angry or upset when you can just not care about it anymore.
Why we can't lead out of emotion?
Yeah.
Why we got to check that shit?
Yeah,
Here's the thing. When you unpack your bag, like when you really unpack your bag, like you really, really, really unpack your bag and you start bringing out shit from like 20
years ago when you were like 7 years old,
that got cobwebs on it, and 5 and 6 years old, and you really unpack your bag. Be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Be careful. It's good, but it hurts Because you got to relive the situation.
Oh, it's terrible.
You got to relive it and go through it and then like deal with it. It's
terrible. Yeah, you got to deal with it. And you got to face it head on. Yeah. You got to face it head on.
And that's not easy. And that goes back to the story you're talking about with
because the minute you unpack the bag, you want to start putting, oh no. Let's put that shit back.
I didn't think it was this bad.
Nope.
I got so many more problems.
Matter of fact, that can go back in the bag, Jesus. And let's burn it after, let's put that back in the bag, Jesus.
There's been so many times where I've like identified stuff and I'm just like, geez, I have so many more problems than I even thought I had.
Bruh.
I'm like, I'm fucked up. Like, low-key, like everything looks fine, but low-key, I got a lot of shit I'm dealing with in my head, like,
whole basket case.
I mean, it sounds good to unpack your bag, but there's a whole nother side of the caveat is like, well, you got to deal with the problems you unpack now. Mm-hmm. Like, it's cool, get it out.
You got to deal with the problems
and then when you're done doing it, then you can put in something else, or you can put it back in the bag and you be in the same position. Mm-hmm. And that's where it's like, gosh, it's tough.
And then you could be lighter.
Yeah, you feel lighter. You feel better when you actually deal with it. But it takes it's a process to deal with it.
And
it's a process.
Like, let's not even say like the stuff like from childhood 20 years ago. How about the traumas we develop now as adults? Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is gonna be a news flash for anybody, but straight up, life is hard.
It is, but
it's difficult.
It is, but it's not.
It's difficult. No, Anthony. It's difficult because you're coming at.
I mean, from my perspective,
you're coming at. You're constantly facing and dealing with things that show up. You know what I mean? Especially if you're about something. Especially if you want to live your life with integrity. Do this whole Jesus walk. That's a whole nother conversation aside, right? But sometimes the way you choose to live is difficult, right?
Yeah,
because there are routes and there are things you could do to take the easy way out, right?
Right.
But those routes don't necessarily build integrity. Those routes don't necessarily build, you understand what I'm saying? Perseverance
I get that.
Or ambition or, you know what I'm saying? So it's difficult.
It is. And I think
but why? You just said it wasn't. Why is it not that hard?
I mean, I just think if you change your perspective on it it's not so hard to do if you just decide to do it and don't make an excuse about it.
It's all about
I mean, it is hard, but then it's not.
Right.
Because what's harder is living with regret later on.
Agreed.
So if you just decide to do whatever it is that you're saying you're going to do now and get it done, it's like let's say let me think of a good regret that I don't really have any regrets, but let's say you want to achieve something great in life. You want to be like a bodybuilder, right?
Right.
But then you decide, you know what? The easy route is eating chips and nachos and whatever all the time, and it feels good right now and it feels wonderful and it feels great. But then 30, 40 years go by and you're at the end of your life and then you're thinking like, dang, I could have done so much more. And now you're sitting in the regret that you have that you could have actually been better.
Yes.
You could have done better.
Yes.
You could have been better, but you decided to take the easy way, which made your life actually much more difficult because now you have filled a huge regret.
And what this brings up is this whole concept of delayed gratification.
Right.
Like in order for people to, in my mind, in order to achieve a certain amount of success, whatever it is that you want, you have to be disciplined enough to hold on to this idea of delayed gratification. Right. But it's hard. And this is where I mean where it's hard because the majority of the people around you are feel good now motherfuckers.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how
I'm one of those people still. Like, I still do. I know.
They're feel good now motherfuckers, right? And you like, I can't.
Like, that's not going to help me go where I need to go.
This is not going to help me go where I need to go. So if you're constantly looking at, right, and this is where friends come into play and making sure that your circle is tight and making sure you're around people that sharpen you, because if you are just chilling with feel good motherfuckers, then you're gonna go backwards, right? Because in order to achieve any amount of success, right, it is coupled with this idea of delayed gratification. I am grinding now so that I don't have to grind as hard later.
When
you know
older,
what I'm saying? I'm not sleeping now, so when it's time to lay on the beach, I got that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm broke now so that I don't have to be broke always. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly, but it takes you to have your purpose has to be strong enough to override the gratification.
Yes,
because if you have
it's discipline.
It's like the goal has to be enough for you to want to do it over the gratification.
Yeah.
Because, like me, I don't care about working out, so me getting in shape isn't that big of a deal. I just don't care as much. But like something else is like, depending on what it is and how I feel about it, I would actually stop doing certain things to make sure.
Yes.
Like even with the podcast, I make sure I put other things aside to make sure this is done.
Yes.
Because it's something that I care about. This is something I want to do. And it's hard to try to figure out.
Balance
at the end
it and all of that
At
stuff.
the end of the day, it doesn't matter. This is what I chose to do. This is what I'm going to do. And that's it regardless. But you have to get a goal that is emotionally attached to you where you want to do it.
But that's the delayed gratification, right? Because we're doing this podcast and I love it, right? And we want to see it grow. We want to see it do big things, right? But right now, small beginnings, right?
Yeah, right.
Small beginnings. Sure. But what you got to do, you got to put that shit aside to keep grinding and understand that nothing great is built overnight. It's not built in 2 weeks. It's not built in 3 weeks. It's not built for a month. And the majority of the people that we're around, we can call them feel good motherfuckers. But the truth is they tried the delayed gratification thing for a week. 2 weeks.
And then it's like,
weeks,
overbearing. And then it's like, shit.
Maybe even a year. And they were like, fuck that. That shit don't work.
Which I understand.
Hell yeah.
I get it. Because I still do this and so do. I still eat bad all the time.
I get it too.
So
shit.
I get it. But I mean, you have to have a goal that's emotionally strong enough for you. And like, because we can have the same goal, but I don't care about it and you do. You'll go that far and I won't.
The goal will fade though. Here's the thing, the goal will fade. And as you live, I believe that so many other things will be added on to your goal, right? So many different brilliances will be added to your vision and to what you want to do.
Right.
Which is great. And that will fade, right?
Right.
But you know what won't fade?
What?
The work ethic.
That's true.
What won't fade is the way you look at your surroundings, right? Because the way I look at my surroundings, it'll never be enough. It'll never be enough. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the way I'm built. It's never enough. It's never enough.
I think that if you can fall in love with the process of getting to the goal more than the goal, then you've made it in life.
Boom.
I think that to me, I guess my definition for success for me personally is if I can aim for a goal, but then enjoy the process more than the goal, then I've actually made it.
And that's where
I mean, you get. I mean, what happens when you get the goal? You get the goal, and then it's like I got to figure out something else to do.
Yeah, it's always going to be another one.
If you put a goal so high above your reach that you almost will never make it, but you enjoy getting to there, like you beat everybody in the world.
It's always going to be another one. That's a great point.
You know, because like it's easy to say like, I mean, I want to be a doctor and stuff, right? But I have no desire to go to school. I hate school with a passion, you know, but like if that's what I really want to do, I got to figure out how to fall in love with learning to do classes and learning, like loving to learn little stuff about anatomy, which I don't really care, you know, but you mean, you got to, and I take it with skateboarding because I skated for 20 years and I was going to be a professional skateboarder, but then I had a kid and stuff, life happened, but I still enjoy the process of skating and learn new tricks to this day. Like if I was professional now, I would enjoy it even if I didn't make it. Even now I still skate to this day. So you got to fall in love with the process of where you're going to go more than the actual goal. And if you can do that, you figure you're in a new chapter of life that you want an elevated spiritual being. I'm not there. I'm not there.
No, that's my new chapter. That's my new chapter.
My goal is to enjoy the process and figure out how to enjoy the process. And that's what I want to do.
Yeah, because you know, like Kobe Bryant. I fucking love Kobe.
Dude, I watched so many like videos about him. I didn't even know. I'm getting goosebumps, literally. Like me and goosebumps.
But that's one thing that Kobe talked about. Like Kobe was like, he loved basketball so much that it was nothing for him to go into the gym and put up 50 jumpers, right? There's that, and then there's that fuel to want to be the greatest, right? Don't let the individual accolades fool you. Don't let the individual accolades be the thing that you strive after, right? Kobe wanted to win, right? In order for Kobe to win, he had to be good, and he just happened to love.
Yeah, he loved it.
He just happened to love what it was that he was trying to be good at. So everybody going to the club, no, I'm going to practice.
Yeah, and you know what's so crazy? Why they had just, I think they'd won the championship, and then it was like literally like after the interview after the game, and he's like, "What do you plan to do, sub?" He's like, "You know, I'm gonna be at the gym tonight, starting for next season." Like, didn't even take a moment off. He literally won, and then was like, "All right, I'm going in the gym at 12 o'clock tonight. I'm gonna be in the gym practicing for next season." I'm like, yo, like that is like true love the process.
And here's the
thing,
like
that is like, I love this so much. Don't matter.
Love something that much. Like when you love something that much to the point where you're willing to devote your life to it, and out of that comes this level of excellence. That in itself, I think that's the most inspirational thing on the planet.
Yeah.
That's the way that you reach people. You understand what I'm saying? Because people who don't know nothing about basketball, don't give a shit about basketball, they love Kobe.
That's very true.
They love Kobe, right? True. And not because he was Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan was the most athletic, the most talented. You understand what I'm saying? Right? He had the competitive spirit, right? Kobe Bryant had to work his ass off. To attain that level. You understand what I'm saying?
And he was crazy obsessed with the game.
To attain that level that Jordan had. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And to love that, like that is the ultimate test of the way that you live your life. I think that everybody in life, that's the most, you would be so fortunate.
If you can figure that out and then actually make a career
that you love that much. You're so blessed.
Because to me, it's
you're
like
so blessed.
Me, I don't care so much about having so much money. I just want to be able to be comfortable and do what I enjoy doing. Like, because I think about this, I'm gonna be working 40, 50 years, right? Potentially. So if I'm working 40, 50 years, I don't want to work majority of my time being something I hate to have 2 days of pleasure to then 5 days ahead. Like, I want to figure out to where I can grind for the next 5 to 10 years so I can make it to where I can do the things I love to do all the time more often, and then make enough money to where I can support my family and everything. We're good. I mean, I don't need to have everything, but I just want to have enough to where I'm good and comfortable and everything is and I can do what I love.
Like I've said this for a long time, from the time that I was in high school.
Long time coming.
But I know.
Thank you.
But I've said this a long time. My goal is to live a life I don't need a vacation from.
Man, that's the process.
Right?
Like, but like taking a vacation is like a chore. Like, I gotta go on vacation. Shoot, I gotta. I'd rather be here doing this every day.
You know what I'm saying? Because I love what I'm doing. Granted, we all need vacations to relax and unwind and all of that stuff. But to get to a point where I'm so fed up, I'm so frustrated, I've had enough, right? The job is getting on my nerves. The kid is getting on my nerves. The family is getting on my nerves. I've had enough. And even though I enjoy it, right? Like I might relatively enjoy what I do, but I'm fed up to the point where what am I doing? I'm constantly looking for other outlets. Alcohol, drugs, sex. I'm constantly looking for other outlets because this shit is fucking hard.
And it's horrible.
It's horrible, right? So I don't ever want to be in that position. I never want to be in that position. I don't ever want to be in that position. Which is the reason why money doesn't motivate me. Right? If somebody pays me to do some shit I don't want to do, so what? I don't want to do it.
And the money's not even worth doing it.
No.
Unless it's a very lot of money. If it's a lot of money, that might...
No,
I'm just saying.
And here's the thing. And even then, I got an exit strategy, right? Like the reason why I've been at my job, so long is because as much as it frustrates me, is the same amount that I love it. It's 50-50 right now
because you see a lot of reward in it.
It's 50-50. So sometimes the frustration is high, and then sometimes the love is really, really high. Sometimes it's like, you know what? Let me go. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'll work on a Saturday, right? Like there was something going on this weekend, and I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll go get the food for that on a Saturday. If you need me to go get the food, I'll go get the food, right? Because I understand that the work is important, what we doing, blah blah blah, all of the shit that goes into it. It's important. It means something to me, right?
I get that.
It's 50-50 right now.
Even if you do things you love, even with Kobe, he still didn't like losing, and I'm sure there's times where he didn't want to get up because he decided, but it's like, even if you decide that you found what you want and you have your calling and this is what you love to do, there's always things in that calling that you don't want to have to do.
There's
that
still
you need
fatigue
to do.
involved.
And you still have to learn to grow in that space of knowing that you found what you love.
Absolutely.
Because even when I would skate and stuff, I would film tricks. And I don't know so much about skating, but it's for the people. But like I would film tricks, and it's like you got to like mentally prepare and then get hurt and then go back and try the trick again that you just got scared of. But it's like it's also rewarding when you do it.
That's falling in love with the process.
But I hate when I get hurt on a trick and I'm afraid to go try it. And I know I got to go back another day. And it's like, it's just terrifying to think of I'm going to try this again. But then that part I hate. But then the also part is like, I love the landing the trick. So it's worth it. You know, so there's a happy medium of everything. If everything, there's a happy medium.
So then that begs the question.
Okay.
Will you ever be 100% in love with something that you do? Whatever it is, 100% in love.
I don't think it's something you do. I don't think it's like something
the way you spend your life. Will you ever be 100% in love with that?
I don't think you can be 100% in love because there's always things that you're not going to like. There's always things that come of everything that you're not like. You get a new car, but then it's like, oh shoot, these oil changes are like $200 now. I don't like that, but the car is bomb.
Right,
but that oil change is like, oh no, you know.
Right.
So like, I think everything is like, there are things that you're not going to like about everything. There's always something you can find that you're not going to like. And that's part of human nature. We just look at stuff and we have the tendency to have like a negative approach at things. Like things can always be catastrophe or bad or, you know what I mean? It's just the way people look at stuff in general. A part of our DNA is to be like, look out for danger. So a part of that comes into like when you find you love the process, even if you're like an entrepreneur and you just love making socks and you just, oh my gosh, I got it. The gift of God. You want to take a meeting every single day at the same time with the same people talking about nothing? The things, this little...
Yeah, it gets you closer to, or it allows you to really do that thing that you love.
Yeah.
That just... whole mind flip. I got to change the way I look at stuff for sure.
I mean, and it's just, it's a process, Yeah. I mean, I know this and it hasn't clicked. I understand intellectually, but emotionally, still not there yet. Yeah. Trying to get there and figure out, because I want to help somebody else figure it out too. But
in practice, it's a little bit harder.
Yeah, but I'm learning it as I go.
For sure.
But it's tough, But I love doing this.
Loving the process, man. Loving the process.
But there's a lot of things to do love. Skating is one. Doing podcasts is one. And what I actually do enjoy more than anything is having like a deep emotional conversation about like trying to figure out your life and who you are and help somebody else get better. That's what I really love. Honestly.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah. I do it naturally. I don't even mean to. I'll start asking questions. People like personal ask questions and like, I just met you 5 minutes ago. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't even mean to go that day. My bad. I just want to start getting there now. Like, let's just figure it out and get better.
That's interesting because I mean, I love a lot of things too that I like to do, but I'm starting to think that maybe I've been waiting for 100%, right? Like waiting to love something 100% before I like
go all in.
Yeah, maybe that's not tangible. Like maybe that's something that I need to change my mind about. You know what I mean? Like that's quite possibly something I need to change my mind about.
Maybe the real 100% is really 80%. The real 100% you're looking for is actually 80% of that.
80-20.
Yeah. And maybe you're just like thinking like the 100% is really like, it's like 100% is like, I found it, I will never have a bad day in my life because I do what I love. Like that's like impossible.
Right.
Like, stuff happens. People die. Like you stub your toe when you wake up in the morning.
They're natural frustrations.
You spilled your pot of coffee this morning. But you're doing what you love.
We don't spill coffee.
You do drink coffee though.
Every day, and I've never spilled. I don't think I've ever spilled a cup of coffee.
Really?
I spill a lot of stuff too because I'm clumsy as hell.
Are you addicted to coffee? I ask everybody who drinks coffee. I ask them, are you addicted?
Probably. I'm okay with that.
Or are you committed?
It don't matter either way. I don't care what you call it. You want to call it an addiction? I'm cool with that. You want to call it a commitment? We are in a relationship.
No, it's funny because my friend used to smoke cigarettes, and I'd be like, dude, why do you smoke? You should stop. This is before before this I didn't smoke, and then I started smoking, and then I stopped smoking. But I was like, why do you smoke? Like, and he was like, I just like you. I'm like, dude, can you stop? And he's like, yeah, I can stop when I want. And I'm like, dog, you're addicted. And he's like, I'm not addicted. I'm committed. And I'm just like,
hey, I don't want to stop.
Right, well, whatever, bro.
If somebody had this conversation with me about coffee, look, I don't want to stop. I don't care what you say. I like coffee. I'm gonna continue to like coffee. And this is not something that I'm trying to break up with. Me and coffee in a relationship, all right? Every morning, every single morning.
That's right. I get it.
Don't talk to me until I have my coffee.
You're not a morning person, huh?
No.
Oh,
I'm getting better. I'm getting better.
I don't even know.
I'm getting better. I wake up between naturally 5:30.
Oh, that's early. Okay,
what time I get out the bed though?
That's the question.
5:40, 6 o'clock.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. But if you weren't working at a job that had to be early, then what would you normally wake up at?
Probably 8, 9.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's late for me.
Here's the thing though. Because I wake up early, I get tired early. I wind down at 10 o'clock. I wind down around 9:30, 10 o'clock. Without an alarm clock too. I don't have no alarm clock.
So you naturally not wake up?
Naturally. Yeah, naturally, like a 5:30. I actually never really used alarm clocks.
Really? I think your body just kind of knows okay, it's time to get up.
Yeah. And if I have to wake up earlier than 5:30, which is my natural space, then I'll wake up every hour until the hour I have to get up.
Okay, I know it's coming soon. 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
I do that because your body will know I need to be
oversleep.
I can't
You can't oversleep, right? And naturally 5:30 is later. Like if I have to catch a flight or something, I got to be up. I'll be like, right.
So how many hours do you need to sleep though, roughly? Would you say?
8.
A real 8? Really?
8-ish.
Oh, okay.
Any less than 8, I'm gonna be
You can't
mean.
function that? Really?
No, I can function. I can function.
You
but
have to force
tired.
yourself.
I'm be tired. And here's the thing: I used to be such a great sleeper. I used to be a great sleeper, and sometimes I still am. Right? Like if I don't have nothing to do and you leave me alone for a good period of time, I might be asleep. Like I learned this on vacation.
Oh, you can just fall asleep whenever?
Last time I was on vacation in Mexico, I took hella naps.
Or was it on the cruise?
No.
A different time?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, when I went to Mexico with one of my friends for her birthday.
Oh, nice. Okay.
We take a boat out to the snorkeling spot. I'm sleep on the boat.
Okay.
We get off the boat.
How are you?
And there's like a private.
That's way too stressful. Like I don't know what they're doing.
Like granted, I'm not like knocked out drooling, but like I got like a little 15-minute nap in.
Really?
Yes. If
can you take like 2-minute power naps or like 5-minute power naps and then go back and be cool?
No.
I can take a 3-hour power nap.
No.
That's nuts.
No.
I like literally. I don't. When I get tired, I don't even need to sleep. I need to rest for like 3 minutes with no movement, and like I'm energized. No. It's the weirdest thing. Like I can take a 5-minute power nap and I'm good to go.
No,
like
it's almost like the world was on pause for 15 minutes, and however I felt, like when I take my naps like whatever I felt prior to the 15 minutes is how I'm gonna feel after the 15 minutes. If I wasn't super tired, but I was just bored and I fell asleep, which happens, then I'll just wake up like, all right, what are we doing now?
I've never been able to
if
sleep
I was
on command.
sleepy or something, like I can't sleep on command, but I have
most probably
since I've been in college. I've been in college, because when I was in college, I would have like, an hour, 2-hour breaks between classes, right? And I live like 45 minutes away from the school, so I'm not going home.
Yeah, for
them
sure.
car naps, bruh. Them car naps. I love a good car nap. I love a good car nap.
I will say what puts me to sleep right away is when I ride in the car with air conditioning on. I'm out. Every single time air conditioning's on, I can sleep I'm not even tired. I can drink coffee, air conditioning's on, and I can go to sleep.
Really?
Anytime the air is on. Since I've been a kid, I don't know why. Air conditioning's on, I'm just like
knocked out. Night.
But honestly, I only need like probably 4 to 5 hours of sleep every day.
That's it?
I think if I go more than like 7, I'm like tired for the whole day.
Really?
I can't. It's weird. I'm optimal between 4 and 6.
So you wake up early and you go to bed late. Mm-hmm. I don't like people like you.
Well, I don't like people like you that sleep in. I want to sleep until 8 or 9 o'clock. Okay,
that's not even sleeping in.
That is sleeping in for me. That's crazy.
Yo, I could sleep now.
Oh my! I would be so angry
sleep now if I don't have nothing on my mind. If
I don't
have nothing on my mind,
gosh.
if the environment is right, meaning that like if it's chilly, I got like my thick blanket, or if it's hot, I got the AC on and my fan.
Nice.
Oh,
really?
I could sleep now.
Oh my gosh!
I could sleep
even
now.
On vacation. Even if I go party all night, 3 hours, and I'm like, all right, the sun's up.
It's harder. Granted, it's harder for me as I get older. Like it's harder. It's harder for me to sleep, mostly because I be thinking about a lot of stuff. But it gets harder for me to sleep, and it's getting harder for me to sleep that long.
Yeah. Okay.
But
so you think a lot at night?
I can do a good nap.
You think a lot?
Yes.
Does it keep you up at night? Well, do you write out your thoughts, and 2, does it keep you up at night?
I don't typically write out my thoughts unless I'm writing something specific, right?
Okay.
I write poetry, and all kind of stuff.
How long have you been doing poetry for?
High school.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit before.
Okay. How old are you
high school. How old am I now?
Yeah.
29.
Okay. I don't want to ask you that.
Big 30 in December, folks.
Hey, we're Sagittarius? You Capricorn? Oh,
Capricorn.
You said 30. Okay.
Big 30 the day
What's
after
the
Christmas.
date? Day after. Okay.
26.
Oh, got you.
You can send.
Dang, because you get Christmas presents and birthday presents at the same thing. It's all in one.
I feel like you're trying to trigger me, Anthony, and I'm not going to answer that. I feel like you're trying to trigger me.
Because I know somebody who goes with that too.
He's trying to trigger me.
I'm not trying to. Hey, look. Hey, it's a choice to be triggered, okay?
He's trying to trigger me.
It's a choice.
Sometimes it's not.
But if you know it, then it is.
Sometimes it's not.
If you know it's a trigger, then you know the reaction
That's
is
true.
not.
If you know.
There you go. That helps somebody else out.
If I know and you say it anyway, if I say you're trying to trigger me and you stay on this line of questioning, it's very clear that you are trying to trigger me.
Well, I was identifying it as a trigger for sure, I was making sure.
He's pulling him.
I'm poking. I gotta do it.
Yeah. So big 30 in December. I've been writing poetry for a minute. But yeah, mind especially so when the TV's on. That's my favorite, like, mind-numbing activity because it's thoughtless. It's thoughtless. And I could just be like,
But outside, when the TV's not on, can you just go into, like, that space of, like, mindlessness?
No.
In general?
When the TV is not on, then all of the thoughts will rush to my head at once, right?
Really?
Everything from the day, from the way I talk to this person, to what I'm going to wear tomorrow,
gosh.
what you going to eat tomorrow. Why does my stomach hurt? Like,
oh my gosh.
Like, that's when my mind goes from here to here to here to here to here.
That's
to here.
so nuts.
Yes. And it'll focus and it'll flow around like that. And then I've actually gotten better because I've learned grounding techniques.
Okay.
So I'll count my breaths
to get your mind kind of like get
I'll count my breaths.
Did you go to therapy to learn these, or did you just
Did you go to therapy?
Nah, shout out to Power of Love, man. Eric Jackson Ministries, bruh. I ain't go to no therapy. I'm just playing. Shout out to Eric Jackson Ministries.
Hey, therapy is good though.
Really concerned with the whole person, but Erica Lachey taught me the grounding techniques.
Yeah, okay, good.
So identifying things in the room, but I can't because it's dark.
Okay.
So I count my breaths.
But you can always like touch your bed, like, okay, this is a pillow, this is this mattress, like my alarm, my phone, my head is attached to my brain still.
No, that'll lead to thoughts, right? Like
you know,
there are very few things that don't lead to thoughts. Almost everything will lead me down a trail of thought.
It's so hard for me because like, okay, I don't think like that at all, like ever. The only time,
I just scanned the room and I looked at that harvest bread. Do you want to know how many thoughts I had about the harvest bread before you started talking?
Really?
Yes, I have 4.
Really?
Yes. Why is it harvest bread? Is that wheat bread? Why is it yellow? Like, is it the sunshine on there? Like, but I didn't want to go back and look at it. I had 4 whole thoughts before you started talking.
Okay. I would say this. When I would smoke weed, that would happen to me. Like
your mind?
My mind. Okay, so normally how I am, it's like, if nothing's going on, I don't got to do nothing. No thinking unless something requires thought. If there's no thought behind it, I don't need, then I can go blank at any time I want. Like, we could be talking and I can just go and blank off and be in nowhere. Okay. Easily. Anytime I want. But it's hard for me to like get, like when people was like, thoughts are here, they're always there. I'm just like, yo, just don't think. Who cares? Just, let it go. And me, it's just let it go and it's gone. I don't got to think about it anymore. But whenever I would smoke, then I would be like, okay, what's going on? Am I going to go outside today? Because I used to live like at my apartment, so I used to do laundry outside because the thing was located outside. So it'd be like 10 o'clock. I'm like, okay, if I go outside, maybe the neighbor's going to be out. Then they'll talk to me. If they talk to me, I don't want to have a conversation because I'm under the influence. So should I go out there or not? I don't want to go out there because I don't know how to like debate how
people have this reaction to weed, right? Because it's 50-50. You never really know. But in the instances that I have smoked, it's the complete opposite.
Really?
It's the complete opposite.
That is so strange.
At a white wall and not think of anything at all, and it's beautiful.
See, I can only do that if I'm by myself, but if anything requiring people or a situation where people will be there, my anxiety is through the roof. I'm just like, okay, what do I need to say? Okay, if they're talking to me now, they're talking. Is she smiling? Why is she smiling at me? Is she joking? Is she laughing? Should I laugh? Because I don't think the joke is funny, but maybe I should laugh to make her feel better. Okay, oh my gosh, what should I do now? How do you pretend to be sober when you're not sober? Anthony, get it together. Smile, just smile because you're smiling too much. I'm like, bro, I don't know what to do. Like but I get it, but it's hard because like my normal brain is never like that. It completely opposite.
It's a normal brain.
But then all my friends are like that. Everyone who's close to me is in that mindset, except for me. I'm the only one that I know out of everyone who's close to me that is like this, or just turn on and off.
My normal brain is always thinking, and it's exhausting.
So how do you even like deal? Like, I mean, because think about it, if you're having like, so think about it, if your brain is like a computer and you have like 100% in the morning, by half the day you rifle through like all these thoughts that were unnecessary, your like brain power is reduced significantly compared to someone who hasn't had those thoughts.
What I will say is that my threshold for the things that I'm willing or able to deal with, depending on what I've been thinking about that day, will get significantly lower. So if you wake up throughout the day, everything is good. But your mind is thinking that your brain is constantly going on top of the natural fires that you have to put out that are just associated with day-to-day
just normal
life.
Stuff, yeah.
Just normal stuff. That plus the way my brain works, and depending on how much shit I had to put out that day, by 3 o'clock, don't come at me with no foolishness. Right? Don't come at me with no foolishness. Like my threshold is significantly lower. So today, a perfect example of this today, like been in a different headspace trying to figure some stuff out, constantly thinking. So when she said that to me, my threshold was low for foolishness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So maybe at a different,
so
if this is earlier in the day, maybe?
It got an emotional reaction,
Gotcha.
right?
Because you're kind of depleted of withholding anything at that point.
I ain't got it.
I gotcha.
So my threshold for dealing with stuff is significantly lower, which isn't necessarily a good thing because we're going to be judged by the ways that we're able to control our frustrations and the way that we're able to deal and put up with things. So that's just a growth area for me, understanding that.
But yeah, I think if you know that, okay, I know this type of day right now, at this point, I'm probably not in the best headspace to deal with anything. If you identify that, it's good to know. So then you know, like, okay, if this situation does happen again, or something happens, I know, okay, I'm in a spot that I know I'm probably gonna be triggered easy. So don't react so much because I know I'm just not prepared to deal with this kind of situation. But it doesn't feel like that.
In the moment, somebody says some stupid stuff.
I mean, I know. I cussed at a 9-year-old kid. I know.
That's what I'm saying.
I know. I get it.
This is why I need help. Like, this is why personal growth is so important. Like, I legit need help because if somebody say something, you may catch me wrong. Like, you may catch me wrong one day.
Okay, I do have a question for you regarding this.
I'm gonna flip.
When you flip, okay, so say like that happened today.
I haven't flipped in a long time though.
That's good. That's very good. Actually, I'm very proud of that. Even though
I've said that, I haven't really flipped in a long time. I haven't flipped on a person in a long time. You know, I've had hella venting sessions though. Right
afterwards, or it's like I need to hit it out. Okay, but that's a very good growth.
Flipping,
but that's good growth.
Yeah. So because I haven't flipped in a minute.
Okay, so question is, if you're gonna let somebody have it, right? Say somebody you don't like, and you like, I don't even like this person already, but they pushing my buttons to the max. When you decide you're gonna go off, you're going off. Are you going to go like all the way off to like hit like hardcore in their core, like heal off every emotion they ever had about themselves good? Or are you like, I'm just gonna hit you a little bit to back you off me? Or it's like, I'm gonna cut you where you will never stand. I'm gonna cut your Achilles and you ain't never standing again.
So it's a little bit of both depending on who you are. It's a little bit of both depending on who you are and depending on what our interactions have been.
Like how much do you like the person?
Yes. And what our interactions have been.
Okay.
Meaning that like don't talk to me like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You already know.
Yeah. Okay. Especially if they know. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Kind of got history and this, and I don't. And it's not that I don't like you, but we don't communicate like that, and we don't really know each other well enough to. But it's a little bit of both.
Gotcha.
I will say just enough to get you up off me. And if that hurts your feelings, if it's a little bit too deep, it's a little bit below the belt, leave me the fuck alone.
Got you.
Now.
But would you go farther than that?
No.
Would you feel bad after you didn't cuss him out?
I would probably feel bad after, but I'm not the type that will sit there and cuss you out for 15 minutes. I'm not. It don't take that long. It really does not take that long. You just hit the two pieces and I can say some stuff to you without cussing you out that will make you feel like shit. I don't even need to use cuss words. I'd be like, you grown, why you still messy?
They make you question yourself like,
yes. I'd be like, I'd be like, we too old to be going back and forth with this drama. This is messy. I don't want to deal with it no more. And then I'll turn around and walk away. And then they'll just.
You can walk away easy, huh?
Real quick.
Oh, I think that's the worst part. Is not even what you said, but the fact that you walk away with radical ease. It's like, so it just shows like I don't get it.
When I was a kid, I was telling grown folks like, oh, you do this. When I was a kid, I would be telling grown folks, well, I'm just not gonna do all of this. I'm like, do what you gotta do.
I was like, all right. Bye. Really? Like, who cares?
Yeah, I'm not the type.
I wish I had that. Dang, I lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something back to. Dang, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah. You can't threaten me. You can't hold stuff over me.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work.
I'm very sensitive. Like, something like that will bother me until it's like, it will bother me. Like,
it will bother me too, but I gotta get it up out of me. Like, I gotta get this off of me because you keep clearly you want a reaction.
So I'm gonna give you the reaction that you deserve.
Because honestly, like I can be cool, right? Like even though the lady was saying sly stuff with me in the room today, like I I didn't go off on her.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't go off on her. I didn't say nothing out the way to her. You understand what I'm saying?
You just remove yourself and then decide to come back.
You know what I mean? I removed myself. I come back later, but I was pissed off, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I would say like 60, 70, 80% of my reactions when somebody says some bullshit to me is like that, right? Where it's like, you know, it wasn't cool because my whole energy just shifted, and I left. And
everybody else in the room knows too. Like they're like, you can see, you can clearly feel it.
You felt that, right? So like 80% of my reactions are like that. Now, if she come at me with some foolishness tomorrow, or the day after that, or the day after that, clearly you want something from me, so let me go ahead and give it to you.
Well, clearly you gunning for me.
Yeah.
Clearly you want something. You gotta want something. That's the only reason why she keep talking to me like this, because she wants something.
Got you.
And I was nice and I let it slide for a little bit too long. Now you done said the wrong thing for the umpteenth time, and now you gotta get it.
Because me, normally I'm like, when I get to the point of getting mad like that, I'm like, all right, I need to have a conversation. It's not like I usually, I'm not all the time. Usually I don't tend to be like, I'm gonna let you have it. I'm like, all right, I need to talk to this person about this, and then figure out why this is happening, so it doesn't happen again. Because I think if I go off, I'm not gonna get the result I want in the way that I want it. Like me is like, I don't want you to even think that you can say something that's gonna get me out of character. I think that's overriding everything. Yeah. But then two, it's like, I don't want to also like have to deal with me going off and then have to clarify what I mean and why I could have handled it this way. I just want to be like, instead of doing all that, let me just pull back and let's have a conversation. Why did you say this and what happened? And then, all right, well, this is why I took it, and and then we hashed out, and then it should be good. And if you're still like, we don't vibe, and you saying crazy shit, then I just don't even deal, you know? Instead, that's just my thing, because I don't know, I just hate having to go back and apologize. I don't want to have to go apologize for something I do.
I feel like going off is the wrong word, because when we hear going off, you hear like, words like I'm for 5-10 minutes, right? I don't go off.
Okay.
I can't
so
remember the last time I've gone off on somebody. But there are things that are naturally within me that people will be like, damn, bro, that was rude. And it don't hit me rude, right? Like when it come out of me, it don't feel rude. It feels appropriate. You understand what I'm saying? So then
this is straight.
So people will pull me around afterward, like, dang, that was rude. You didn't have to say it like that, right? And then I'll be like, well,
it was just honest.
Depending on the situation, I'd be like, that's what she gets. She's been trying me forever. She lucky I didn't say woo woo woo. Right? Or if it was supposed to be cool, and I maybe shifted the vibe and made it rude when it wasn't supposed to be. Then at that moment, I'd be like, dang, you right. Let me go back and apologize for this.
Right, okay.
But typically, the stuff that's in me that comes out of my mouth is natural.
And it's not rude for you, so there's no problem.
It's not rude for me. Like for me, it was appropriate, right?
Yeah.
It was appropriate. She knows some fuck shit. That was an appropriate response to fuck shit.
Yeah.
That was a stupid ass question. That's an appropriate response to a stupid
ass question. And it definitely put it in a vibe of, it was like, you made somebody particularly in this room an issue for no reason.
Yeah, because when you're trying to...
I was like, what were you trying to... What was the point of that? What was your intentions behind what you said?
And when you're trying to be a leader, you can't, right? Yeah. When you're trying to be a leader, right? It don't sound rude to me, but everybody else in the room is looking at you like, damn. Did you really have to say it like that? Did you really have to do it like that, right? So when you're trying to be a leader and you need these people on your team to work with you, you need people to, you know what I'm saying, to help you reach your goal, because you cannot do it by yourself, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that you need these people with you, you gotta be mindful of the way that what you're saying is coming across.
Yeah, that's
again,
true.
To me, it's not rude, right? Because I grew up with a mom who is very quick wit and spicy.
She is.
So you know what I'm saying?
I know. That's true.
So if that's the way we speak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's how we talk.
Yeah. And so and that's why some people don't, you may not think it's rude, other people will, but it depends on person, circumstance, and society's, like, what they deem as rude or not.
Now imagine this, right? Like, this just made me think of this in my teacher brain, my educator brain. Now imagine the cultural differences that exist when you're trying to teach elementary school age children. Right? Because what they're seeing as rude or loud or disrespectful that's the way they communicate in the house.
Right.
So when they come to school communicating that same way, these teachers,
I see.
different background, don't understand diversity, right? Don't understand.
And they think this is a problem when it's just a way of communication.
This kid is a problem child now.
And it's not even the case.
And he's not even a problem child. He's a problem child now. He's angry.
He's just a problem to you because you're too sensitive.
They're aggressive, right? This little black girl's aggressive.
It's not the case.
She's angry.
Why? Because what you deem is aggressive, or is it actually aggressive nature? Like it's not. When you look, you gotta look at the culture though. Also,
it's the cultural difference, because in their mind that's aggressive behavior, right?
Okay, well I know, I do understand that.
Way, I was trying to think of a ghetto black girl.
No.
This is just the way that the black girl communicates.
Right. You know, because I do notice this with. I'm gonna offend somebody right now, but there's people there's African people, right? And their cultures are so different. Like I had this girl in my class, and she was always like, she talked at your face, like here, and she was always like telling you what to do, and it was like, you're in your space, you know. I'm like, yo, back up. Like I don't like people in my space. I need at least 3 feet. At least, you know. But she'll talk to you, she'll talk at you, number one, and then she'll just talk in your face, and you like keep back up, she'll keep moving, and she's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, dude, you're rude, get out of my face. And then she's like, that's not rude, what do you mean? And I'm like, yo, like we're in America right now, like you gotta understand, like the culture here is different a little bit, you know. But I'm trying to be cool with you, but like you gotta back up at my face, you know. And they don't get it, they just don't get it.
And if we unpack that a little bit, then it starts with an honest conversation.
Yeah.
Right. It starts with an honest conversation, because the person is not aware how they come across.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So the honest conversation is, hey, you know what? So typically when we speak to somebody, we do it from a distance, right? If you are this close to me, then I'm going to assume that you are being aggressive even though you are not.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh no. And then usually they be like,
oh no, like it wasn't even like
disrespect,
that.
Right?
Yeah,
and then they back up really quick, and you're like, all right, great. So now that I know that, for future reference,
maybe I can adjust myself to certain things depending.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take a step back, and when I take a step back, you stay where you are, but I want us to continue to have this conversation.
Right.
You understand?
But at that time, I kind of reacted. I was more reactive.
Yeah, because
I'm like, yo, get out of my face, bro. Like, get out of my face. Like I don't even know why you in my face.
Cultural differences.
I don't want to be able to smell your breath when we talk. I don't.
Cultural differences, we gotta unpack that.
You know. But so it goes back to what you were saying before, like diversity and stuff, and like the same thing. They think the teacher may think like they're a problem child because that's what they identify as a problem, even though there's actually really no issue except with your own bias.
But think about how detrimental it is to label somebody as a problem child.
Especially you're an authority figure.
An authority figure at 7, and then that label continues to follow them through high school.
Yeah, off of a misconception.
Off of a misconception.
You know?
And then what happens? The kid gonna start acting like a problem. If you treat him like a...
And you keep calling him a problem.
It says problem child, right? So then when you deal with him, you're going to deal with him from the space that this person is a problem child. You don't think he could feel that?
Yeah, because you're already thinking about that way. You're already looking at him that way. Yeah.
Now that he started acting like a problem child, all it did was confirm.
Yeah, reinforce your own beliefs and bias from before.
The beliefs you already had about bro.
Because of what somebody else even said.
Has the propensity to change his life. This is going to change the way he deals with authority figures, i.e. it changes the way that he deals with the police and everything else, right? And it's a trickle down effect because one white teacher didn't understand how to communicate with the little black boy. You understand what I'm saying? And it follows them. This is it's deeper. So when I say that racism is systemic, and I don't want to go back to that, that's what I mean by that.
Got you.
Right?
But
because it happens as early as 7 years old, 8 years old.
And it's part of it is like a cultural misunderstanding.
All of it.
And I think a part of it is too because people, like a lot of white people that are raised to believe that black people were this way, or what they've been programmed to see every day on the news or on the media, and then what their family member might have said or what someone else said at the mall, and then it's like then they go in and looking at everybody that way, like, oh, they're ghetto or they're bad.
That bias.
This, you know.
Yep. And then Johnny don't want to sit down, right?
But that also goes.
But then when you tell Johnny to sit down, he start, oh, I don't want to sit. You know what I'm saying? He starts right. You like, oh no, this is a problem child.
But see, that also goes back for us because we can't think that everyone is racist either. Just because there are a good amount of people that are racist doesn't mean that we can just say because you're white you're racist.
Should until
proven otherwise.
That's terrible, but that's what
because what you're it's like what you're saying is like when you do it it's wrong, but when I do it it's right. Well, and it should be either right.
I got 400 years of oppression on my side, bro.
I get it.
I got 400 years of being killed on my side.
I get it.
So you damn right. When I walk into a room of white people, I'm gonna feel some type of way.
I get it.
Period.
You can. I'm not saying you're not to feel any way, but what I'm saying is you can't automatically just say someone's a racist if they haven't done anything to prove that they're racist.
I can't. But
you can still think it.
But I'm not.
You can feel it.
But I'm not open to these people. Like here's the thing.
Until they prove otherwise.
I'm at Marie Kerr. I'm walking right. And right now I've noticed in this climate with the social unrest, I'm getting two types of white people right now. I'm getting the white people that are extremely over the top nice and go out of their way to say hello, right? And then I got the white people who looking at me crazy. I got the white people who damn near like almost got hit by a car. Roseman walking across the street.
You're telling me.
I was saying that I almost got hit by a white person crossing the street in Roseman with a big ass Confederate flag on his truck, right? So like when with that type of experience, you damn right. Everybody that I look at, especially right now, I have to proceed with caution, right? And the reason why I have to proceed with caution is because I have 400 years of history on my side that says that there's a certain belief system that we are superior, that we are inferior to white people.
I understand that.
And I don't have time to decipher the good white people from the bad white people, because by the time I do that, I could be dead.
So if a white person were to do that, what would you say about them? If a white person would say, like me, before, I don't know, let me fill you out to see, because I don't know what type of person you are. Would that be offensive to hear, or would you rather be like, okay?
It's offensive to hear because of the thought process that exists in the community, right? Which is that, again, black people are inferior.
I get that.
Or they're angry.
And that is a statement that's over black people. No
they're superhuman, or they're angry, or they're violent, or they're this, right? That is already existing. That's what they get fed by the mainstream media. That's what they get fed by the news. That's what they get fed until they see an alternative.
My thing is just, why don't you treat everybody individually by what you know of them and find out for yourself?
We should do that.
I think that's what, and I think it would take both sides.
We should do that.
But it would take more of white people's side first.
And honestly, let me rephrase this by saying, up until a couple months ago, right, I didn't feel this way, right? Okay. Robert Fuller changed that.
Got you.
Right? To wake up and hear about a black man hanging from a tree in my lifetime. That changed that. It changed it.
I understand.
Right? So it's not something that I would even say, a year ago that I felt
this is
this
a
way.
few months,
But
this is very recent.
Robert Fuller, the man in Victorville, the man in Atlanta, the man in New York, the man in, I think Texas was another one, changed that.
Yeah.
It changed that.
And like this
it changed that. And it changed that.
I get that. And like this is the reason why I want to bring this up, because I want people to understand the full scope of this, from every single angle, so then you can make a better decision. When you meet somebody at first, you don't gotta assume that they're the worst person, but you still gotta operate with caution. You don't gotta assume they're the worst, but still also operate in caution until they prove them that they're not. You don't gotta.
Sketchy Asian dude walking down the street.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Anybody who looks sketchy, whether you black, white, Asian, if you look kind of sketchy, I'm gonna think a certain way until I find out.
Exactly. If I see a sketchy Asian dude walking down the street, I'm gonna act accordingly. However, if I walked into a room full of all Asians, I would probably feel a little bit uncomfortable.
I would feel uncomfortable.
But would that uncomfort translate into the same way that I would feel walking into a room full of white males? It's a little bit different.
Yeah, it would be very different.
Right?
Because the stigma around black people in us in society.
As far as I know, wasn't no little Asian man hiding under sheets. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ain't no little Asian man identifying as Nazi lowriders. I don't know, maybe he is, but
that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Ain't no little Asian man ever hung, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
people of color, black men from trees with their genitals cut off in their mouth. That was done by white men.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
This is very
true. We gotta, again, if we're unpacking stuff, we gotta unpack all of it and where this stuff comes from.
And even the worst parts, even like that, like that stuff that is still history that we gotta still deal with.
Imagine waking up and seeing your father hung from a tree with his genitals cut off and in his mouth.
That's crazy.
Imagine that. Imagine waking up to that. And ain't a damn thing you could do about it.
Yeah, you just stuck in the situation.
You stuck. Yeah. You're stuck.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
I get it.
Right? Ain't no little Asian man did that shit.
That's true.
As far as I know. Maybe I'm wrong. History people.
I guess we'll find out. We'll look into that and see if there's any Asians in there. But we gotta go. We gotta cut this off because this is good. This is good again. But I hope that somebody got value from this. I hope that you guys can get some good takeaways. And please leave some comments about what you guys think about this. Like what do you feel? Like if you're a white person, like put your point of view. We were trying to learn and everyone figure this out. Black people, we need your support as well. We need to like come together as a people and really change America. And we can do this if we just come together. So please, you know, subscribe and comment and, you know, have a conversation with somebody you don't know.
Yeah, like
you
let us know.
Have a conversation.
Join the conversation. Talk to us. Tell us your perspective.
Yeah.
All of that, man. It all matters. Just because you know you might feel a different way. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Until next time, guys. Thank you for letting us unpack our bag. So you go and unpack your bag. Until next time, love y'all. Peace, love, hair grease. Talk to y'all later. Me.